All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be playing Tron list. I've been playing Tron for a bit now, basically since the beginning of the last modern RCQ season. And one idea that I had for Tron recently was to add two more Urza sagas to the list. I was kind of feeling like 18 lands was a little low. Sometimes you really want that, you know, eighth mana for Ugin or fourth mana with if you don't have Tron for Karn or Ring. And if you only have 18 lands, your chances of drawing it are pretty low. Um, and I've been liking Urza Saga as, just a way. It's another way to get map out, and if you have that turn one, then you can easily get turn four Tron. And then I also put in one of Relic here. I've just cut a star for it. Don't usually like Relic in Tron just because it's not good before you have Tron, and it's also bad after you have Tron. So and normally I don't like to play it, but I figured with four sagas having the tutor target against graveyard decks would be good. Other than that, I'm just kind of running a fairly standard Tron package. Sideboard is fairly standard as well. Just a couple pick your poisons and then some current targets. So yeah, I 5-0'd with this deck yesterday, and so you can see that there, and hopefully I can repeat. I um, don't know exactly, if I would say that Tron is tier one at the moment, but I really like the deck, and I feel like um, it's pretty easy to look at it in terms of like, oh, you have to be playing these exact threats. You got to be playing the Wormcoil, Ugins, Ulamogs. But I think if you adjust the payoffs a bit to match the meta, then Tron can stay pretty competitive no matter what. And then this hand, I'm keeping. Um, I've got turn for Tron pretty easily with the sagas. I think my plan here is I'm going to start with power plant into um, star, and then I can next turn stirrings. Hopefully, I'll hit a Tron land, and then I can just go, map for the last one. Or if that doesn't work, then I'll be able to play saga, play map, and then I'll be able to, uh, yeah, go from there. Suspending ancestral visions is very interesting. I don't think I've seen visions in a while here. Okay, so yeah, we got mine. I'm going to take the mine so that I can search for the tower later and then have that 3 mana available right away. Um, yeah, I wonder if this must be like a Grixis control list. Don't know what, probably Murktide, probably some other threats along those lines. And then, yeah, let's see if they've got what else they've got going on. Let's see. Okay, Flame of Anora. Okay, so probably a wizard type deck. Got Snapcasters, probably some Tidebinders as well to go along with wizard subtyping. So yeah, I mean, slowing me down here by killing the map, but I should be able to fetch a map off this saga, and based on how things are going so far, they've got another iteration that they're casting here. Seems like I might be able to just make some saga tokens. J3 Awakened is a spicy one. I like that. Let's see here. Here I'm gonna go for a power plant here. Next turn I'm gonna be searching up a tower. I kind of want as much mana as I can get in play when that resolves. So yeah, this brew is looking really spicy though. I like that. You could plot the ancestral visions. Wonder if they have any other synergies there, or if that's just those two. Okay. Let's see. I can't actually cast Ugin, but I can't really crack the map if I don't. So, or if I make, I was thinking about making a construct there. Um, so I still can't cast Ugin, but if I made a construct, I wouldn't be able to crack the map very easily and then actually have mana left over. Okay, that's nice. Let's go for stirrings here. I think I'm casting this card no matter what. I've already got O-Stone. I might just take the green source here. I've already got. So if I take the other, I think the other option. I've already got an O-Stone, so and I don't think that would be great in the matchup. So tower would be the only other option next turn. If I took that, I would have 12 mana, which puts me, it doesn't really do much for me. So yeah, I'll just take the forest, make my other top decks a bit better, and then yeah, I'm gonna cast this Karn. I've got a lot of threats, so I just want him to, yeah, if he's got a counter spells, just start using them, because I will be casting things. Fatal push, fatal push. Okay. Well, so he's gonna draw 3 cards here. That's kind of insane, but cast Ulamog, eat 2 your lands. See if they have a counterspell, another Jace. They could cast it at this point of the game. So there it is. See, do you have a plot? Oh, the Valky, of course. So that can actually exile my Ulamog, which is kind of awkward. But what am I gonna do? Not cast Ulamog? I'm gonna go. See, thing is, do I care about Jace? I don't really think that I care about Jace. I mean, I think there's a decent chance that I'm going to be coming down with Ugin next turn or popping an O-Stone to get rid of that. So Jace is already going to be taken care of. I can just cut him on mana. Yeah. Cool. So next turn, got a Valky coming down. But let's see. So Tybalt probably plus. Well, obviously. Ancestral Vision. Well, that's a pretty big non-bow. Oh, exiling that. Just he can play my power plant to off this to get a land, but seeing a lot of colored pips in his deck, not much that there's a power plant can actually cast. So yeah, a bit awkward of a flip there. Let's see if he has another counter spell. I think next turn I don't really want to play Ugin and then just sacrifice it. I'm gonna try to play a map. Although I guess I can cast stone, and then if it gets countered, I'll cast Ugin and probably just go -7. I mean, can't really leave this sitting around, so yeah. So that's a creature. Okay. So let's I guess we'll just see if I have force. Or see if they have force, excuse me. Because otherwise I think yeah. Well, Tron does seem to have that effect on people, where it's they stumble a little bit, kind of get their footing a bit, and then I play something or they look at my hand and then they just concede. It's happened probably 3 or 4 times in games in my last league. You know what? I'm not complaining. Uh, don't think they're necessarily wrong to think that way. So in this case, I took all the dismembers because they just seem pretty bad. Um, I mean, his creatures that I saw were Valky, and I'm assuming he has Snapcaster, neither of which I really want to kill with Dismember. So I guess the question is, if I take those out, what am I bringing in? I guess I can bring in a Worm Coil, and maybe just a Sundering Titan too. Um, Haywire might maybe to play around. I doubt they'd have a Blood Moon, given that they're 3 colors. I don't know what Haywire might would be good for. Probably just a Sundering Titan. Just give me the threats, and take out these cards that they don't give me Tron and they don't cast big things. So honestly, why do I even have them in the deck? All right, so yeah, this is a mulligan for sure because a lot of cantrips and nothing else. Mulligan. Yeah, I think this is a Molda 5 situation. Okay, so this is very similar to my last hand, but I will keep it. Feel like on 5 I can't really be too picky here. I think I'm just going to put these 2 payoffs to the bottom. That's kind of generally my philosophy when it comes to mulliganing with Tron is, once I end up keeping, um, I'm just going to keep the cards that will help me get Tron and then put back the payoffs, and then my philosophy will be get Tron as fast as possible and then try to top deck a payoff later. I think I'm just going to go Mind Star first. Hopefully I can draw a Tron land off of. I got 2 draws here where I can try to draw one, and then if I do that, then make Sylvan's Grind. Just figure out the last one. But if that doesn't work out, then I can, you know, play Stirrings, try to hit one, and then Sylvan's Grind for the last piece. Oh my! So there is a payoff if I can ever get there. So let's see if I draw the Tron land. And no, but One Ring is pretty good. I've heard that it's a good card. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to cast the Star here and then crack that into Stirrings versus casting Stirrings straight up or casting a Sylvan's Grind. Because I already got green mana. I'm going to have green mana no matter what, so let me just do this. And maybe maybe thinking I may bait out a Spell Pierce, which would be kind of nice, but doesn't seem to be the case. Okay. Wow. Nothing. Okay, well, in this case, I'm going to take the map. Next turn, I can go Scrying for power plant, map, and then the turn after, go map for tower, cast One Ring. It's pretty good. Of course, now he has Counterspell mana up, which is not good. But if I draw a power plant, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna mind. So I'll cast this. I'm assuming that this is going to get countered. And then I'll play the power plant to map. Okay, so he shocks in. This is a Archmage's Charm or Force? Okay. Force and a map. Him casting Force hopefully means that second Force is less likely. Okay, cool. So yeah, looks like we're on track for a one ring next turn. Let's see if he's got Jace. I think this is the first turn that he'd be able to cast Jace. Jace Plot Tybalt or something. Oh, just a Flame of Anor? Sure. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think of that about that. Maybe I should. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have led with the map as the bait spell, and then cast the Sylvan Scrying to avoid this situation here. Oh, Kolaghan's Command. Okay. Yeah, now he's got a Snapcaster too. Kind of gross. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna try to dig for a land here. O-Stone doesn't do anything. Okay. Urza Saga is a good land. I mean, and this is kind of the exact situation that I wanted, or I was envisioning when I put the full four of in the deck. You know, I'm trying to find really any land to hit one ring. And so being able to use this, cast the O-Stone immediately off of the higher chance to crack a land. And then next turn I can go for a one ring, then turn after grab a map off of the Saga, grab Tron, go from there. Okay, so he's got the Jace now. He's got a plot card, Ancestral Vision. Okay. Okay, so I just drew the map. I guess I'm casting it. I'm gonna cast it off this forest because then if they have a counter spell, then I'll be able to make a Saga token. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't have a Tidebinder here. Cool. Love to see that. Let's cast a ring. Didn't have counter magic before. So maybe this is the straw that broke the camel's back here. Really don't feel like I would just be very surprised if they counter this based on the fact that they didn't counter the expedition map. But maybe, I guess one thing they could have is Spell Pierce here. Though the cracking going not shocking, okay. Well, I was wondering if, maybe they would be open to casting a Kolaghan's Command or a Flame of Anor on the O-Stone in response. Now that I'm tapped out of mana, but didn't seem to do that. Okay, so just casting Snapcaster. Okay. If I don't believe that this works. So what I'm assuming they're trying to do is cast the Snapcaster, give the Force Negation flashback, and then exile a blue card out of their hand to cast it. But the Snapcaster gives flashback equal to its mana cost, which is 1 blue. And so since they obviously don't have 3 mana up, they can't cast it. The alternate costs don't have any impact on that. Although, not gonna lie, that would be a sick play if that was the case. So yeah, so they draw 3. So definitely good, but I think this Ulamog coming down next turn. Oh man, Chaining Visions is that's actually really sick. I really like that. So I mean, next turn, I think the play is cast Ulamog and then just exile the Jace and I believe the Snapcaster. I mean, he's got six mana, so like You know, I could take out 2 lands, but he just still has 4. Or I could take out 1 and a Jace. Uh, I don't think this Snapcaster is going to be a huge problem, but not the greatest to leave around. So he can cast this, draw 2. Oh, I mean, the value on his deck is insane. Like, I'm all these cards just give the 2-for-1s are just crazy. In this case, a 3-for-1. But this is also a 3-for-1. You know, exile 2 cards, and you get a creature. That's just classic 2-for-1. Of course, the creature is also a 10/10 indestructible. Exile the top third of your deck, but surgical extraction. Okay, now I think this is where you're starting to lose me a little bit with this list. You're not milling me, right? So there's no way you're gonna get a Tron land in my graveyard. So I guess you're just playing it for value, like this. Which sure, some things would be nice. Some board states would be nice to use the O stone on, but yeah, this isn't one of them. I think I'm grabbing the relic here with this against the Snapcaster deck. Okay, yeah, second Ulamog, sure. So that's 10 mana. Cast, exile these. Just gonna go ahead and do this. I would be very shocked if me tapping my relic to exile cards ever mattered in this game, but I guess best practice. And kind of crazy that I can even leave up the activation so that a second Snapcaster isn't useful. One thing I guess I didn't think about necessarily before I chose the Snapcaster with Ulamog is that he can actually cast a Tibalt now if he had a land plus Tibalt, which I would have to imagine that he has a Tibalt in hand. Okay. Yep. Um, which, yeah, that would be one way of dealing it. I guess, yeah, Shieldred's Edict is, he does have the land. Next turn, though, I can cast this Ulamog and then get, I guess I'm probably getting that. Let's see if he plots the Tibalt. Could make things quite awkward for me here. If he's deciding what to do. Draw then discard. Okay, so yep, if there's no discard Odawara. Okay. Interesting. I wonder. Nah, there's no way. If they had Tibalt, there's no way they don't plot it here, right? It's like there's no way that. I guess I should have tapped the ring first. But there's no way that plotting it isn't better than just casting at 7 mana next turn, right? So, well, I've got another Ulamog, so yeah, I'm gonna cast it. And I guess I'll go for Undercity Sewers. Counterspell? Counterspell. Kind of crazy. That's the only counterspell I've seen other than for the early force negation. We'll do that and pass turn. I don't think that I want to cast this Sylvan Scry. I think next turn I'm gonna have, infinite mana really to cast these things, and then I'll probably see what I draw for One Ring first, but probably end up grabbing a Saga. And then I can go, you know, cast Worm Coil, play a Saga, kind of go from there. He didn't have a land in hand, so I guess that Odawara must have been his only land. Kind of crazy. Well, Sundry Titan is a pretty good card. Let's see here. I can cast it. I can cast Worm Coil into Sundry Titan, which seems pretty good. So yeah, let me just do that. Cast a Worm Coil. Let's see if they have a counterspell. 5 cards in hand, I would assume they have something. A null, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. It's going to be a bit awkward. I guess I kind of mistapped here. I should have tapped a little bit differently, but it's going to be a bit awkward if this actually resolves and I have to destroy my forest, which is my only mana up to pop this relic. But I think I'll be okay if that happens. Snapcaster. So he targets a null. I get to pop it. Do you have something? He could have a Tidebinder. He could have just used this as bait, I guess. Okay. Yep. Using it as bait for the second Snapcaster. I mean, so with these Snapcasters, I am taking 4 down to 10, 4 more down to 6. And, that's quite a bit awkward. I got a discard, so I will discard a mine. He can surgical all the mines that remain for my deck. I will be happy with that. So yeah, I guess next turn, probably starting with an Ulamog here. Certainly his play last turn indicates that there aren't any Snapcasters in hand. Or any counterspells in hand. Given that he used both his Snapcasters to try and get me off of that. Well, hold on. Guess, I'm drawing cards. If he Bowmastered me, that would be pretty cringe, but luckily dodged that. Let's see, did he draw a counterspell? He did draw a counterspell. Now this would be really awkward if he also has more Snapcasters in hand. But, I mean, if he Snapcasters and puts Snapcaster counterspell, oh, that's weird. So he did have the counterspells. He just wanted to get rid of my relic, I guess? Okay. Well, in this case, I'm going to do this. Still want to play another One Ring. If he has the 4th counterspell, it's his last card, so be it. Okay, cool. I'm just going to cast these maps. Get down to 7 cards in hand. Sure. Yeah, see, this is where I was suspect of the surgicals. I already have cast 3 of them. So there's only 1 left in my deck. And like this one is still available for me to use. Plus, now that I know I can't um, I can't refresh the ring, then I'm less likely to actually use it to draw cards, given that, you know, I'm at a pretty low life total. Okay, so let's see. I would like another payoff to go with this Karn here. Don't know. Okay. Yeah, that counts. So let's start with Karn. It's one I care the least about. If this resolves, I think probably grabbing Ballista here. Does not look like it's resolving though. Oh, it is resolving. You just shocked. Okay. So I mean, I do have. Well, actually, because of these surgicals, I can grab something from here too, but probably just Ballista, right? I think I might have enough mana to just straight up. Okay, so Tidebinder here. Tidebinder is pretty good. All right, so I guess it all comes down to this. Is there an answer for this Ugin? If there is, then I lose. If there is not, then I likely win. Sorry, I was a bit premature in playing this Saga. I think there's... Okay, cool. Well, I guess can't celebrate just yet. Do you have another Tidebinder? 3 mana. Man, hopefully playing this Saga doesn't come back to bite me because I do have another draw off the ring. So if I had played Tower, I would have had a bit more mana to play with. Interesting. He wants the Tidebinder in the graveyard for some reason. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead. I think I'm going to keep these maps around because I'm going to be making constructs. But Sylvan Scrying, I might as well cast while I have it. Gotta wonder if this killing the Tidebinder here was just because he could. Well, and after all this, I have lethal on board. So I'm going to start with that and see if my opponent has an answer. Animate the One Ring. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Shieldred's Edict. I mean, they've only used one so far. Okay. Tidebinder comes down. Tidebinder is a lot less scary when I have a Wormcoil and an active Urza Saga. Does he have a Cryptic Command? Oh, Subtlety. Okay. Yeah, Subtlety is awkward for sure. The question now is top or bottom, and I think I'd do top because I'm gonna draw it again here, cast it, and the reason I'm doing this is because if I play if I just bank on an Urza Saga token to save me, I do die to a Sheoldred's Edict. Whereas right now, I do not have to worry about that. But I don't know if they're playing bolts. I haven't seen any yet in these two games. But I would be dead to a bolt. Call against command is... Oh, because of the ring counter that I had to do because of this, Call against command is actually lethal as well. So let's see. If they attack, then I'm probably dead. Okay. Well, looking rough. Looking rough. Don't think there's anything that I can do about a Call against command here. So. Okay, they haven't done it yet though. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a construct. These resolve. Grab a sphere. Cast a... yeah, I cast a new Karn. Okay, force of negation. Kill that. Try this again. So I think it would probably have to be cryptic at this point, right? And GG's. Nice. That was a really cool game. 13 minutes. Very deep in our decks. Nice. All right. Let's go on to the next one. All right. Looks like we are back against Akio. I'm going to build this. Not really much of a decision there. This one is much more interesting. All right. And yeah, I think I'll keep this. Hopefully I can draw either a mine or a tower in the first turn or two, but okay. Yeah, Stirrings is good. I'm gonna go with a star here, and then next turn I can either draw a mine slash tower off of either, my draw step or the star, and then cast the scrying, or I can cast the Stirrings and hopefully do the same with the map afterwards. So it looks like I'm up against Scam. Unfortunately, looks like a Bowmaster looming on the other side of the table there. Not really much I can do if that's the case. Yeah. It's funny, I could have taken the sphere there, and a lot of people think that they can respond to the sphere with the Bowmasters, but you can't. It's a mana ability, so the card draw just happens basically instantaneously. But, assuming my opponent was probably smart enough that if they just main phase the Bowmasters, then it's irrelevant anyway, so. Alright, so I got Tron coming down next turn, but, obviously nothing really to do with it, only 2 mana. So, Urza's mine. Wow, I was gonna draw it. So I'm taking, Molten Collapse is huge there. So next turn I'm gonna be taking 5 for sure. Well, guess there's not much to do but cast this, grab mine, and then next turn I'll be able to probably Oblivion Stone because of the Ragavan. If it was just going to be, just the Bowmasters and stuff, I would definitely play the Ugin here, but I really don't want to allow this Ragavan to live. So, yeah, let's see. Got 3 cards left in hand. Not casting anything. So yeah, gonna go for that. Wouldn't be surprised if they had Not Dead After All as one of their cards. Um, it'd be a bit awkward with the Oblivion Stone, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm just gonna go ahead and crack this here. I think if they have the Not Dead After All, then they'll use it, maybe. Um, but they'll play the Ragavan post combat, and now I can use my Ugin to just snipe that down. I don't know. I guess the question is, do I bolt it? I probably just -1. Like, I think I'm still suspicious of the Not Dead After All, even though they didn't use it. And you know, I would much rather to have my Ugin at 6 loyalty instead of 9 than risk having a 3/2 Ragavan. Sacrifice Planeswalker. Okay. All right. Well, for all of my trying to play around, Not Dead After All. Wow. Okay. So I was gonna say, for all of my, all the time I'm spending trying not to let him not dead after all me, I'm gonna have to crack this Oblivion Stone and potentially have it. But this relic does seem to help in that regard. I think I'm just casting it, and then there's not really any good way to stack these things. So my plan is to crack it, and then, if he dies, he dies. Okay. 3 cards. One's a land. Okay. Yeah, so I can make a token. I mean, this is kind of the exact situation where I was thinking of Urza Saga. Um, and this is a situation where the sphere versus star is big because now I can crack this without the opportunity for Bowmasters to come down. Um, although I guess I slight misplay there. I think I probably should have kept the sphere around for at least one more turn cycle, just because you know now my construct can get pinged to death. But it doesn't seem like, to be fair, that would have to be the third Bowmasters, and it doesn't seem like my opponent has that. Okay, another land. This is the classic scam, jund, whatever problem where just trying to mid-range them out, and you're drawing lands and they're not. So, well, actually, technically I am drawing lands, but I do have 4 Urza Sagas in this deck, and those actually count for 2 creatures each, plus a card draw at the end of it. So, you know. Okay, so I guess I was wrong to play around the not dead after all. They just had 2 fatal pushes. Um, okay, yeah, Fable the Mirror Breaker is a really good top deck here. Kind of their version of the Urza Saga, right? It's like get 2. Okay, well, wait, hold on. I'm just in autopilot there for a second to just like, oh yeah. Let me make some more constructs before this goes away. But I do have an Ulamog, so I'm going to cast that instead. And then power plant to make a Saga token. And yeah, looks like this one is wrapping up pretty nicely. Nice. All right, so we're up against Scam going to game 2. I like Worm Coil Engine. It's just so awkward for them to deal with. Dismembers are good. I could see trimming an Ugin. I guess probably want to bring in a Haywire Might as well. It's just a good Blood Moon protection. It can even just block a Ragavan and tutorable by Saga. The question is, do I want Pick Your Poisons? I would assume they have Blood Moon, but they could also have Magus. And if they have Magus, Pick Your Poison is way, way worse. Um, I don't know. I might just roll with it. I think I'm going to trim a ring due to the Bowmaster matchup. Kind of, yeah, let's just roll it like that. See if I see the Blood Moon this game, then I think for game 3, I'll likely bring in some number of Pick Your Poisons. But I do have several ways of dealing with it, like the Seiju and now the Haywire Might plus Karn. Yeah, this hand is a mulligan. Not really much to do there. Oof, this hand is really awkward. It's like I can cycle. This gets me a map, but there's not really much to do here. I think the one consideration here is if I go to 5 and they have like turn 1 scam, then it's likely that I just get left with absolutely nothing. So unless I have natural Tron, then it's gonna be bad. Whereas this hand, I can at least, they take a couple of chromatic stars and then I'm still live for top decking. But let's say, so I'm kind of counting on drawing 1 Tron land naturally. But that's turn 4. You know what? I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna put the ring on the bottom. It's a bit awkward, but I think I want to have as many of these effects as possible. So turn 1 grief, you know how it is. Exiling a Dauthi Voidwalker. So here comes this game. Well, the nice thing about having a hand that's just 100% redraws is hopefully you could just draw what you need. Which, 7 Scrying is actually pretty good here. I think, it definitely opens up the possibility of drawing a mine or power plant and then just having turn 3 Tron anyway. Yeah. Another top deck would obviously be Dismember. That would be a natural one. Okay, Thoughtseize is bad. Oh, so, Not the worst. Let's see what I draw off this star. Okay, I draw a map. All right, well, I think I'm just going to go map Saga star. You know, Saga gives me a green source for if I draw stirrings or scrying. And yeah, the Saga will get me my last Tron piece regardless. Okay, no Blood Moon or anything, which is really good. Oh, and a Dismember. Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to go digging. Search up power plant. And then, I'm taking 4 off of this Dismember. So I'm going to see if there's a window where he's tapped down here. At the very least, I want to make sure that I'm not going to also take 4 damage from the attack. Okay, so he's got another one. There was my O stone. Not great. Well, in that case, I'm probably just dead. Draw a power plant. Yep. Map. So, yeah, let's go for this. Get Tron in play. And then I'm going to go ahead and crack this because Karn or One Ring are castable right now. There is Karn. Okay. I'm calling my way back. All right, yeah, let's grab something from the board. So my only castables this turn would be Tormod's Crypt or Haywire Might Pithing Needle, and none of those really do anything. So I'm not going to get those. Very, in-depth analysis. Kind of like just grabbing a One Ring here. Because I think it's pretty likely that the Grief attacks down my Karn. I mean, assuming that he doesn't have a bolt, because obviously if there's a bolt, then I'm just dead regardless. But then I can use the ring to get a turn. Okay, so he's attacking me probably just as a bolt then. Yep, okay, game 3. Didn't see any Blood Moon. That's kind of what I was thinking about here. The only enchantment was the Wicked roll, which, yeah, I'm not really that happy about bringing that in just to get the Wicked roll. So I might just run it back like this. Give it another go. Yeah, really unfortunate that the second scam spell was in their hand. All right. This hand is bad. Okay, this hand is good. I guess I'm probably bottoming Karn here. If I'm operating under the assumption, like, if they have turn 1 Thoughtseize, they have to take the Sylvan Shrine, and then the play Saga next turn. Then in that case, then turn after I can O-Stone, get my last Tron piece with. Okay. Finish my thought. Just get the last Tron piece, and then I was be able to crack the O-Stone to kind of claw back into the game. In this case, however, you know, just top deck it. Don't know why more people don't do that. Worm Coil is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and cast this. I think because I have Natural Tron, I'm just going to go for Beseiju. Um, I think probably the one of the ways that I lose this is, he can either Thoughtseize or Scam Grief me this turn and then go into like Blood Moon next turn. Um, okay. Voidwalker is awkward up against the Worm Coil and looks like, yeah, that's a pretty good play. Just hold the grief, pitch grief, um, and then now he's got a Worm Coil he can cast. And I can't actually kill it yet. Um, yeah. So it looks like he's gonna get a Worm Coil down next turn. This Ulamog, I mean, thank goodness he did not take the Ulamog out of my hand. Though I guess I don't know. Should probably hold my tongue until I see what actually happens here. But um, okay, and then Blood Moon here too. All right, well, you know what? I'm putting a fate counter on my Oblivion Stone. You never know when I'm gonna have 8 mana a without actual Tron and then cast it. You know what I mean? Probably. Actually, I do know. It's never. But okay. Tower is actually really good here, um, because now I'm at the point where next turn I can play Beseiju as a land, and then Oblivion Stone, destroy the Blood Moon, and then untap with an Olimog. Kroxa. Luckily, he can't scam this, and he can't Thoughtseize me afterwards either. That would be really, really bad for me. Um, he's one card away from doing that. Okay, well, I'm just going to draw land, so I guess I might as well do this. I'm going to wait till their turn. I guess there is the possibility of a scam, like not after all on the Worm Coil, but I really don't want to take 6 this turn, and with an Ulamog coming down, you know, I'm not too afraid of a Worm Coil. Okay, that's actually pretty big. I'm a bit surprised of why. Okay. I guess he just wants to get the Croaks out. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think there is a pretty big case to be made that I should have just taken the 6 off Worm Coil and then held up my Oblivion Stone. Yeah, that looks like game to me. Um, I can go grab another Saga. I can't make a token, so GG's. Yeah, that was a really close game. I think so. With that second swamp, I think they would have been able to escape Crooks, regardless of me um, cracking the Oblivion Stone, because they'd still be able to cast the Grief. Yeah, honestly, I think that was probably not much I could have done there, regardless, because I'm just thinking back. I take the Worm Coil hit down to 5. I then my opponent would still evoke the grief to get the 5th card in graveyard for Kroxa, and then escape, which puts me down to 2. Then after all of that, I have nothing in hand, and they still have the Wormcoil tokens at play. So I'm kind of in the same top deck or die spot anyway. So anyway, on to the next one. Yeah, I mean, and not really much to say here. I'm keeping a natural Tron in hand. Hopefully, I will be able to get a payoff to cast on turn 3. It would be kind of awkward to be forced to wait until I can cast a Stirrings, but that is the way it is. Okay, Ragavan into Elvish Reclaimer. I was about to say, okay, it looks like we got a Murktide gamer over there, but Elvish Reclaimer, huh? He do be reclaiming some elves. So I guess this would be got to be some sort of Scapeshift build, right? Seems pretty spicy, right? Like Lorien revealed Springleaf Drum, Elvish Reclaimer. And he's happy to cast the map too. Wonder if, obviously seems like it could be due to wanting to get a Valakut. Although he did get a breeding pool here, which is not a mountain. But, depending on the deck, these 4-color Scapeshift lists don't always play, as many mountains as they could. Okay, so he's got a Beseiju here, looks like. Yep. So Beseiju on my power plant. All right. Well, I will get that. Actually, it doesn't really slow me down. I'm gonna go grab another power plant. Play it for turn, and then next turn I can still cast and crack O-Stone. So that's kind of the goal at this point. Oh, I was just about to say, tanking 3 hits from Ragavan usually doesn't end up working out very well, and there is why. Just giving my opponent a ring. Okay, Karn is a good pickup here. So I kind of like the idea of just Karning for a Ballista, and then I can Ballista X2. Probably, yeah, just kind of stabilize there. Because this Karn, I can Oblivion Stone, which wipes this stuff, but Karn also shuts down all of this stuff, and then it also shuts down the One Ring, which the Oblivion Stone definitely does not do. So yeah, I'm gonna go for that. I'm sure when Tolkien was writing these, writing Lord of the Rings, this is what he envisioned by the immeasurable toll of the One Ring upon the bearers is 1 damage per turn until they find a second ring. Okay. See, if he has another fetch land or something, then this can kill my Karn. Surveil a land. Okay. Karn down. Pretty unfortunate surveil there Would have been really nice to not have to deal with that, but you know, comes and it goes, you know. Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. With all these artifacts, it seems like they might be a one or a sorry, an Urza Saga deck. Or, you know, like some kind of even like a breach deck. Kind of weird. Okay, so I'm gonna lead off with the Oblivion Stone. See if he has a counterspell of any sort. Okay, so that resolved. I'm gonna go for Stirrings here. I guess just a sphere. And then I'm gonna pop this now and stop the Reclaimer activations, and then also, you know, cut them off of the treasure mana. Um, and then yeah, I think I'm leaving this up, you know, just for the green mana next turn if I need it. Drawing 3 cards though, is rough. It's rough. So let's see if they have. Okay, so they do have Saga. Okay, another third Ragavan. I saw it's just maybe just a value reclaimer pile. Like you're just reclaiming into Urza Saga, getting value. Ooh, Renin 6 is really, really bad for me. That Beseiju and that treasure token is okay. Sylvan Scrying is saving me off the top here. Yeah, let me do this first. Got a lot of green mana now. And then yeah, I'm gonna cast a Sylvan Scrying. Oh, Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is brutal here. One thing I can still do. So yeah, I'm gonna pay. I definitely need Tron. Um, the question is, do I One Ring or do I O Stone? So let's say, so I play O Stone this turn. Then on my next turn, I crack it, hopefully break up the Renin 6 lock. If I One Ring, then I can draw a card. Next turn, he destroys this. I'm down to 5 mana. He gets another one. Another turn of Besiegeing me. I think I'm just going to go for this then. I mean, he is down to 8. If he taps the ring, I don't know if they're playing the ring themselves, but I mean, if they tap it again, then they're dead in a couple turns. Of course, they could also just not tap it or have their own. Plus, I would say it's decently likely that they're playing like a Haywire Might or something. All right, no lands to get off Beseech. And notably has not tapped the ring yet. I guess the question now is there another Renin 6 in my opponent's hand? Because I could see just casting Worm Coil here. Because if let's see, I could blow up the O-Stone. Then they can run in 6, get back Beseju me again. I'm just slowly dying, I guess. So yeah, I guess in this case I'm gonna go for the Worm Coil. I kind of feel like this is the kind of play to win type line, where the Worm Coil is gonna be hard for them to answer. Like if they can't counter it here, then it blocks forever, gains me life. Even like Unholy Heat doesn't really deal with it. Oh, Subtlety. Yeah, Subtlety is probably game here. Man. Oof, top or bottom? I'm gonna say probably bottom. Next turn. You know what? I'm gonna go top. I'm changing my mind here. I think my plan is I'm kind of in on this ring damage, and the so let's see. I'm taking. Oh no, I'm just dead here. I'm just dead here. Okay. Yeah. The grab the. Okay, and he has a Haywire Might anyway. So yeah, dash the Ragavan, attack for 7, ping me with Ren 6, and I am dead. Well, okay, so I mean it's a pretty interesting list here. Oh, and also the top bottom decision didn't matter at all because Wormcoil was always getting exiled by Ragavan. Well, okay, so pick your poisons. Seem pretty good. Dismember is also pretty good. I'm gonna bring in a Haywire Might as well. Ugin does not seem that great. Let's see here. Probably leaving Pithy Needle in the board for Karn Tutor target. Then let's see, probably just kind of trimming a star here. And then, yeah, going from there. Oh, this is a very interesting hand. Because if I get any Tron land, I can get Tron. And I do have the relic. I'm gonna try this hand. I think I'm gonna go, turn 1 Tower Sphere. Then I've got 2 draws to draw a Tron land straight up, plus the Stirrings to look for 5 deeper. Turn 1 Ragavan again. Cool. Okay, Saga's good. Let's see what I draw. Forest, I mean, with the second Stirrings in my hand, this is pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the map here. And then I'm gonna go like this. So my logic with doing it this way is next turn, what I can do is I can Stirrings, try to hit a Tron land, and then play that, use that. Pick your poison. You have betrayed me. You have betrayed me. That's brutal. Oh man. Okay, so I guess I'm still just doing this. And that did not help. So probably going to take a copy of the One Ring here. Get a payoff in hand. I mean, it's going to take a little bit longer than I was hoping, but I do have Tron and Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is cool. All right, so, well, at least I can cast the One Ring next turn. And the plan keeps changing, you know. I'm going for Tron. I'm going for Tron. Pick your poison your map and Spell Pierce your other map. Okay. Going for the One Ring. Going for the One Ring. Well, thankfully, it does not have 10 mana. I guess if he had 10 mana on turn 3, I would probably be dead in a million other ways. But, yeah, this Ulamog is just getting cleared from the top of my deck. Okay. Thankful to have this relic here, and he also just gave me the mana to crack it, which is pretty nice. And yeah, probably casting this. Get a break from these Ragavan beats. Okay, just draw 3. I would assume it's a Ren and 6 decks. Ren and 6 deck. Probably was not the only Boseiju in the list. Yeah, I'm just drawing 2. Then let's see here. So what I can do here is, oh man, I can Karn for Pithy Needle, Ren and 6. I guess so. Karn for Relic, I guess. Karn for Relic doesn't seem that great. Probably better off. Now I'm kind of considering, you know, with the kind of mediocre Karn options I have, would it be better to just Stirrings try to hit a Tron land, and then I can play an O-Stone plus Star? I kind of like that better. You know, yeah, I can cast Karn here, but I'm really struggling to actually get stuff going. I might take another ring, I think. Go like this. And I did clear, that does clear 5 more non-mine cards away off the top of my deck. Probably Ragavan's gonna pop it. Okay, power plant, not a mine. Good to know. Yeah, let's see what my opponent does. Tarmogoyf. We got a modern old head here. Sacrifice an artifact. I think I'm going to sacrifice the ring. I do have another copy of it. And I really want to stop this from ultimating. So, seems reasonable to me. So the trick here is I'm going to cast this. You are free to counter it, opponent. And then I'm going to wait until the Urza Saga trigger is on the stack. And then I'm going to activate Oblivion Stone. So this way, the construct he can make end of turn doesn't do anything, and it's going to be if there is a little bit of like game of chicken that they can play, where if they don't do anything with this, I still okay. So they got it, yeah. I still have to crack this because they could get a Pithing Needle and name Oblivion Stone, and then I'm just screwed. So I have to crack this now, and then they can um, after this goes off, make a construct. All right, but it's just a 1/1 for now. Let's see what they get here. Good a Haywire might make sense. I've got it. They know I've got a ring in hand. The Royal Scions. Okay, so it loots. Doesn't give haste notably. First strike and okay, and then an Elvish Reclaimer. Okay, so I mean, let's just draw. Let's. How about this? How about I just draw mine? Okay, just draw mine. Hey, okay, all right. Yeah, yeah, seems pretty good to me. Um, I think I'm gonna start off with uh, oh stone, clear the board. Da 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 da. Yeah, you can gain your 2 life. Um, and then I'm going to, I think, just play the One Ring here. To get some cards flowing. Okay, well there is the Pithing Needle. So, assuming my rings are going to be turned off. Um, but that's okay. I mean, I've got Karn and Wormcoil in hand, so not super pressed about that. Let's see. Oh, Besagio. Indeed. Indeed. Okay. Well, um, I only have 3 forests in the deck, so that's just a strip mine. Um, hmm. I think so. Let's see here. I can. Yeah, I think my plan here is going to be Haywire might um, get rid of the needle. Oh wait, I have a map in hand. Sorry, I'm just dumb. So let me get Tron back. But yes, I will get rid of this. Unleash the power of the ring. Draw 2. Then I think I'm just gonna go ahead Karn for Tormod's Crypt. Okay, they've had enough. All right. Um, let's see. The only thing I can think of is the pick your poisons. I mean, with the way that they're using sagas just for like basically just value, makes me think that it's actually not that good in this matchup. Because like am I really going to be taking a turn off to destroy their sagas? And if I have Tron and I have all the mana in the world, do I care if they have a saga? Mm, probably not. Make some tokens, sure, and then I'll cast a card or Oblivion Stone. So I think I'm just gonna take those out, especially on the play. Like I'm gonna hope to be more assertive. Um, Probably yeah, Star here, Ugin here. One question is Ugin or Wormcoil better? Probably Ugin because yeah, just sweeper. And yeah, suit up for game 3. See if we can settle this one. Okay, this one is. I think this is a keeper. I mean, it's again very awkward. I think it's it's turn 4 Tron instead of turn 3. However, uh, turn 4 Tron with 2 towers in play is pretty good with an Olmog. So I think that's going to be my plan. Oh, and of course I said I was on a play, and of course, uh, I'm on the draw because I actually won that game. So just shocked that I actually won apparently. And then yeah, turn 1 Ragavan again is pretty brutal here. I'm gonna go with this star here because I don't want to get pick your poisoned. I'd like an opportunity to fend for myself here. Try and land exiled from the top. Okay. All right, let's see what I draw. The One Ring. Now the question is, do I want to play the tower and then Sylvan's Grind for a land, or do I just want to do Ancient Stirrings? I probably just want to Ancient Stirrings because I don't care which of mine or Power Plant that I get. Okay, so I did find the mine. So I'll cast that. Am I that worried about Pick Your Poison that I will not cast this map? Honestly, yeah. I think because next turn I go tower, play this tower, crack the map, get the power plant, and then the turn after I have Ulamog. Versus if I do it this turn, I cast this, next turn play. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go for that. I think the upside of holding it is pretty big versus the downside of playing it out. Uh, and if I played it out here, then next turn I get 2 mana, and I mean there's nothing I can cast off of a single power plant. So just gonna go ahead and do that. Opponent is thinking on my begin combat step. Probably going for Surveil Land here. Yep. All right. It all comes down to this. I mean, not all comes down to this, but a big part of the game comes down to this. So let's see what they flip. Flip an expedition map. Yeah, seems likely to be cast. Do they have Ren and 6 or Beseiju? Looks like they might have Beseiju. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. They do have Beseiju because they can map for it. Always a little brutal when that happens. Just crack crack your map to get a Beseiju and then blow you out with it. How about that? Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. This is a bit weird, I think, but I think this lets me do the best with what I have is because so basically what I'm doing here is I'm casting the map off of the Saga. So I'm obviously going to go get a power plant, and then next turn I can have a blocker for Ragavan regardless. Oh my god. Okay, I think the game just ended. Uh, yeah, that's a rough one. The always tough to beat turn 1 Ragavan, but when they rip your Karn off the top, that's a rough one. Let's see what they got. A Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, it's just a just card draw. Wow, and the Pick Your Poison. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm fighting the good fight here. I'm grabbing a power plant. Next turn, I'll have 8 mana. I can... Probably what I will do is just cast... Go like... cast One Ring into cast Karn. And then I can turn the One Ring into a creature. And then the next turn, I can Ulamog. Hopefully come back from there. But man, this is not going to be easy. Just deciding whether they want to... They have to spend their entire mana to do that. Got a second Soul Guide Lantern. Looks like they're going for it. I think that's got to be good for me. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to go for a ring first. Because I'm worried about Spell Pierce. And the ring surviving or resolving is more important because, you know, get the protection from everything is it's a good ability. Not gonna lie. So yeah, so I mean, next turn I have the Ulamog. Man, this is getting tense. Let's see what they can do with this Saga. I'm assuming they're... Oh, they are making a construct. I feel like that's got to be good for me, right? The naming Karn. Yep. Fair enough. Yeah, you might as well attack with a Worm Coil. It's just 6 life for free. Yeah, this is pretty intense. So let's see. I can cast Ulamog. I kind of have to get the Karn. Question is, do I have to get the Saga? I mean, I guess I could get Pithing Needle too, and then just plus Karn on Ring again. And then he's attacking me with 2 constructs next turn. Plus, and then like 8 damage gets through. Man, this is rough. Or if I guess I could, there is the possibility I could just Ulamog, take out Wormcoil Pithy Needle, or take out Wormcoil Construct. I guess if I'm going to take out... I feel like if I'm going to take out Construct, I'm going to take out Urza Saga instead. Probably. Yeah, I think the plan here, I think I'm just going to go ahead, take out the Construct and the Saga. I mean... Oh, it's so brutal to have my Karn, like my artifacts and my Karn locked down. But next turn I do have a Wormcoil to, and to come back a bit, and obviously still have the Ulamog in play. So I think I just got to try to fight through the hate pieces, and then Hopefully this Ulamog can carry me to victory. Ooh, subtlety is so brutal here. And by brutal, I mean lethal. Because I can't do anything. He attacks. Yep. Oh, GG's. Oh, man, that was a close one. That was really close. All right, on to the next, I guess. All right, we are back with round 4. My opponent is deciding whether or not to play first. They do. So, yeah, this is a mulligan for sure. Some decisions are hard, some decisions are easy. This one is a more difficult one for sure. This one is an Urza Saga hand. You know, like there's no way really around that. I think I'm keeping and playing this out as a value Saga deck. You know, I've got a Dismember for an early creature plus, you know, and then so Power Plant, maybe Dismember something, Saga, start making tokens. I've got turn 4 the ring. You know, there are worse starts for sure. Urza's Bob or Mishra's Bobble. Yeah, so some kind of prowess breach deck. That's interesting. He targeted me with the bauble and then played a fetch land. Spell Snare. So I wonder if it's another control deck. I'm casting Chromatic Sphere. This draw opens the door for me to draw like Seventh Scrying. That would definitely be the best of the draws here. Okay. Some of the, I mean, I was about to say something snarky about how long my opponent is taking, but with this type of deck, the bauble blue-red type of lists, your sequencing actually like matters so much. So, you know, I don't blame him for taking a second to figure things out here. It doesn't seem like they have anything. Oh, it looks like maybe a Spell Pierce coming down. If this is like a classic Channeler Murktide type deck, or you know, if this is a Blue Moon style control deck. I think out of these cards, I'm gonna have to take the Relic. I mean, start eating his graveyard a little bit. Try to hopefully fend off a Murktide, and then you know all the other cards in there in the pile were kind of redundant. So okay, so he does have the Spell Pierce. Just decided not to use it on the Stirrings. It's a bit bold. Bit bold to do that, but I would say it worked out pretty well for them. So can't hate too much. All right, so yeah, I guess I'm just making a construct. My opponent's not doing much either. I wonder if they have. This could be the wizard build. Could be playing Flame of Venor and getting that going UT. Could also be potentially an Archimedes Charm, though it's probably not as common. Nothing. Okay. Hey, you know, if my opponent wants to pass, I will allow that to happen. I get a construct. All right, I'm getting Tron this turn. You know, of course, it's always very tempting to just like, oh, let me play the value game. I'm going to make a construct and delay getting Tron by a turn. Like, well, I could also just get Tron. You know, I don't know. Um, I'm assuming this is going to get countered. Like, I would be very shocked if it didn't, but you know, it's the counter spell is going to get used sometime, and I've got an Ugin that I can play later. Let's see. Okay. Murktide would have been bad there, but doesn't seem to be in my opponent's hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and cast it. Next turn, I mean, hopefully I'll top deck something good. But, I mean, if this didn't resolve, then I would have 2 draw steps to draw something, and then... Alright. Ugin is too much for the feeble Izzet player. I think I'm going to bring in Pick Your Poisons here. Decent chance they have Blood Moon slash flying creatures. Probably bring in Wormcoil here. Yeah, probably these 4 seem pretty good. I mean, Ugin, they conceded to the Ugin, but it doesn't actually seem that great. I mean, it's easily countered by like Force Negation, Subtlety, Counterspell, anything, Spell Pierce even. And it's also just like god awful versus Murktide. So yeah, not a huge fan there. And then maybe I'll just trim a star. Thinking about trimming a Dismember. Do I want to trim a Dismember? I think I'm going to trim a Dismember. Partly because I just did not see a single creature out of their deck last game. So that does definitely leaves the possibility that Mulligan. They're just like a controlling build of the deck, and in which case my Dismembers are just gonna be blank. So okay, I'll keep this Bottomless Sphere. You know, not the most exciting hand, but I do get Tron pretty quickly. Ragavan, of course. You know, can't expect to dodge turn 1 Ragavan every game. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad it's not every single game of the match like it was in our last match. That was brutal. Ooh, okay. Thank goodness that Karn was on top this turn and not next turn. Because, yeah, that would have been an absolute disaster if I was stuck with my opponent casting a Karn off Ragavan. Weirdly, for the second time. If I had a nickel for every time my opponent flipped Karn off Ragavan this league, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. All right. Versus power plant. Preordained. Okay, so no Blood Moon. Looks like they might be trying to dig for a second land here with this Preordain. Bottom. Preordain again. Well, you know, if you need a land, not much Not much is better than double preordain. Okay, 2 top. Preordain number 3? That would be pretty funny. Mishra's Bubble. Okay, well, I am cracking this for a power plant. Let's see what I draw here. I'm kind of debating on playing map or making a construct to block the rocket van because, and kind of the idea there being that yeah, you know what, I think I just got to take the hits, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna play the map. If they have a spell pierce, I kind of want them to use it now. You know, it's probably gonna get me at some point, so I'm gonna do that. This way I have map, backup map, and Sylvan's Grind. So I have 3 ways to get Urza's Tower. O-Stone, I can't imagine them casting that. Let's see if they have Blood Moon. Would be pretty sick here. That's one thing with, you know, if you got 4 Urza Sagas, obviously Blood Moon is already good against you, and now it is even better against you. Well, their decision to play Magus instead of Blood Moon is definitely paying off, and my decision to ward out one of my dismembers is aging horribly. Actually, it's just extremely awful. um, I guess there's not really much to do here except go grab a tower. You know, I'm still hopeful that I can clear this Magus off the board at some point, and I would like to have Tron available when that happens. Not looking good though. I mean, I've got the 1 dismember. I've got Karn, Ring, O-Stone as like good top decks. He didn't put the subtlety to his hand, which is a little sus to me. Let's see what I can draw here. Ancient Stirrings. All right, well, I'm going to do that and immediately punished. Let's see here. Probably just Relic. You know, lands are really not doing me much good at this point. So how about I take care of your graveyard? Another Saga. Who bought all these dang Sagas in my deck, dude? Shouldn't there only be 2 in here? That's crazy. Yeah, it looks like this is going to game 3. Would be very, very surprised if I'm able to live through this one, because now I'm going to 6. Even if I draw a dismember, I'm still at 2 after that. Oh, and they flip Karn. So yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to draw the 1 ring. That's like the only thing that buys me any more time, but yeah, the fact that it didn't cast the Karn means they're. Oh, I did draw the One Ring. Um, but the fact that they didn't cast the Karn makes me think they have a counterspell because they want all the blue mana from their treasures. And they do. Okay, well, game 3. So Dismember is in. Pick your poison. I think it still is worth it just because it still gets the channeler, and they still might have Blood Moons in the deck. Um, let's see. I think I might bring in Ballista. I don't know. This might be too much. I'm already down a star. Probably take out Haywire Might since it's less likely they'll have Moon. Um, and you know what? I'm flipping back on that one. I think being on the play, probably don't want to be drawing a Walking Ballista. And this is a mulligan. Ooh, this is a bad hand as well. Yeah, with no green sources, I don't even have two Tron lands, two different Tron lands, so this is just not going to do anything. I'd be purely top decking at this point, and drawing a 5-card hand is better than purely top decking. So, wow, this hand is bad. This hand is bad, but I will keep it. Um, I think I'm going to go turn 2 Saga because that lets me make some tokens. Yeah, so I'm obviously really hoping to get Tron lands or green sources. So, Chromatic Star, Chromatic Sphere, that kind of thing would obviously be the best. Okay, so turn 1 Preordain is much better for me than turn 1 Ragavan, especially with this hand. Okay, all right, yeah. So I Saga down, Chromatic Sphere, Stirrings. Okay, yeah, grab a power plant. All right, well, yeah, this hand is working out. We're getting there. I mean, next turn, power plant into construct token, and then get a map off the Saga trigger. Do have to fade a Magus or a Blood Moon. I don't love to be in that position, but it is what it is, I guess. And I can still potentially draw a green source or something. Okay, drawing map is good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and play this for that reason. Like if I do get hit with a Blood Moon, I want to be able to map probably for a forest, and then be able to at least play a game. Versus if I just make a construct, it'd be a 1/1, and then I'm just sitting there with 3 mountains in play, no Saga trigger. Okay, well, no no Magus. Do love to see that. I'm gonna grab a sphere here to try and find a payoff. Okay, one ring counts as a payoff. Then yeah, let's go for it. Okay. Gonna cast a map. Thinking about spell piercing it. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna crack it. The question here: do I get Saga? Do I get Forest? I'll probably just get Saga because I do have a map that I can go get a Forest if I need it. And they didn't have the Magus last turn. I would have to imagine they would have played it when I had an Urza Saga on the field. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty nervous about a Murktide here. Could make a 5/5, and would explain why their hand is so slow. Expressive iteration, okay. No whammies. Let's see if I can get lucky here. Okay. Preordain, yep. And then a channeler. Okay, well, I mean, I'm Tron, so I've got a bunch of good top decks. I would assume, I feel like if they're doing this, they probably have subtlety. I mean, they did put one on top, but well, that is a good one. I can't cast it this turn though. Well, let's. I mean, hopefully their next turn is like make a big Murktide plus leave up counterspell, and then I can just like slam the Ulamog, clear their creatures, and then yeah, it gets countered, but you know we're back to an empty board, empty graveyard. Another iteration turn is pretty good for me too, I think. You know, just I mean, it's likely that they're either going to tap out or just leave up a counterspell, and both of those are good for me. What I really wouldn't want to see is like they're digging for, or they're like slamming a Magus or something. Which I guess I'm probably speaking too soon. Okay, okay. If I said all that and then they slammed it anyway, I would be a little upset. But um, seem to have dodged things. Do I crack the map? I do kind of want to just grab like a forest. Like, and then next turn I say I'll have 6, 9. Yeah, so I'll just do that. Classic deck thinning gamer. Okay, and I did draw pick your poison too. Well, boom and boom. Assuming that counterspell is coming for me. But you know, I do enjoy 2-for-1s. It's kind of if they counter this, it's kind of a 3-for-1 because I'm getting a land. But you know, when they've got this many lands to play, I'm not too pressed about that. Oh, actually, I should have gotten their island. That was actually a mistake there. Um, yeah, because basically the idea would be if they do play a Magus, then my or they have to cut themselves off of blue mana to do that. Dress down is interesting here. Okay. Well, I'll put it on top. I'm. I guess they must have just wanted to cycle the dress down, but then they also decided to subtlety, and he did have a Murktide. Okay. Well, unfortunately, you drew the wrong moon effect. Well, I guess they could still have counterspell, but they didn't last turn. Okay. It is a game. I'm pretty surprised by that actually, because they could have they could have kept the Murktide in their hand, but yeah, I mean, definitely that not exiling the island there, like really set me back. Dash a Ragavan. Okay. So I'd really like to draw a green source this turn. That way I could Sylvan Scrying for Beseiju, and then Beseiju the Blood Moon right away. No such luck. Looks like I'm taking 5. Yeah. Take 5. Beseiju. Beseiju the Blood Moon. And then I should be able to... I guess if I draw any land that's not Urza Saga, I can cast Ulamog immediately afterwards. Um, oof, another tight game. Oh wait, no, I don't have 2 towers in play, so I couldn't do that. So probably looking for like, let's see, can I cast an Oblivion Stone? Unholy Heat, the Ragavan, just to surveil, I guess. Cast another Ragavan. Okay. All right. Well. Okay. Pick your poison would be good too. Oblivion Stone. Well, yeah, that works. So go here. Urza Saga. Oblivion Stone. Nice. Really glad to see that resolve. So they might get some surveils here, but I'm gonna try not to take a Ragavan hit. I'm assuming if they unholy heated their own Ragavan, they probably have another one. Like, I just can't imagine a world where that's not the case. Like, you really cashing in your Ragavan and an unholy heat to surveil when you don't have a backup. Like, seems a little sus. All right, so let's see what their last card is. Oh, pass back pretty quick there. Um, Okay, so I have 2, 6, 9, 10, 11 mana. So if I cast the Sylvan Scrying, um, the best play would be I can cast Sylvan Scrying, get a tower, and then still be able to cast Ulamog. However, if they have a counterspell, then my Ulamog is just stranded. So I think I'm just going to cast the Ulamog. This time I'm going after the basics. Let's see if you got a counterspell. Basics are gone. And the match is mine. Let's go. All right. 2-2. Let's head into the final match, see if I can get a treasure chest out of all this. All right. In for match 5. And we got a mulligan here. Not gonna lie. It's bad to keep 0 landers. This one is interesting because any green source, any map, Saga would be pretty good in this hand, but it does have Dismember, but it is pretty stinky to not have it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. I think there's enough good cards that I can draw. Okay. Swamp Go. That's a fast Swamp Go too. There is nothing that costs 1 mana in this man's hand. So yeah, let's see what they've got. This must be like a coffers, something like that. Inquisition. The 5th Thoughtseize. Okay, do they have another one? They do not. Okay, so they really must not have a creature over there. Saga looking pretty good in this situation here. I know they, you know, I know they could have a Field of Ruin, but then, if they do, they just turns, a fellow Saga enjoyer. Is this an 8-rack deck? I wonder if it's an 8-rack gamer over there. All right, each player discards a card. I'm gonna go ahead and discard this Dismember. I think I can see where this game is headed. Yeah, he's discarding a Fatal Push as well. Although, I mean, I'm probably making a Construct next turn. Oh, interesting. All right, do that. See if I can bait him into like playing Field of Ruin and going after my Saga because they think that that's my only way of getting Tron. That would be kind of nice. I'm going to discard this Stirrings, currently uncastable. But, I got Ugin coming down next turn with a Construct to block for it. Ooh, Evoked Grief is so brutal here. Do they have the Scam? If they don't have the Scam, it's not as bad because I can... Oh, don't do this to me, bro. All right. Scam gamers. Gonna scam. I mean, on the bright side here, I do have 8 mana available next turn. So, I can just draw another one of my payoffs and hopefully play it. Not that one. That one is not as good. So I think what I'm going to do here instead is make a construct, grab a star, and then next turn, you know, oh, hold on. No, because I was thinking if I could draw a card to discard to the Liliana and then be able to just keep the Olimog in my hand, but with then next turn unless I top deck exactly tower, I'm still just losing it. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. Then next turn, I'll discard. I'll end up having to discard my Ulamog, which sucks, but I can, you know, have two draws to get something good next turn. I even have a green mana if I want to, or if I draw like a Stirrings or something, or even you know, a Sylvan Scrying to get another map would be good too. Liliana is down to 2. So let's see. Looks like they're not making a construct. Wonder what they're going to get. Could see Pithy Needle for like Karn or the Ring. Or I guess the Rack. I gotta assume they're playing the Rack. The Rack plus this Grief is a lot of pressure for sure. Man, I really thought I was in the clear before that scam Grief, dude. I had that Ugin. I was like, ooh, Ugin coming down? Nah, not today. So I am under the Rack. Okay, I'm assuming they got a... Okay, Bowmasters. Well, I guess I should probably crack this star then, huh? Well, guess I'm discarding Overlock. Hurts me to do it, but it is what it is. Saga. And I'm gonna attack. I mean, okay. The constructs do be attacking. So I'm taking 7 down to 10. Okay, and he's just giving up his Liliana. I mean, I do have to decide, like... yeah, I think I'm taking 3 here. I guess I shouldn't have that auto-yielded for this type of situation. Yeah. Yeah. Seems pretty good to me. Let me play this. Love to see that. Draw. I think I'm just gonna make a construct here and then just hold these lands back. Because, I mean, I can still cast anything that I draw, and then this just saves me 2 life on the swing back from the rack. Yep. I'll take it. I guess it's... Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, so it looks like another pick your poison matchup. Seems like pick your poison has been coming in like every single matchup. Seems like a bad matchup for Relic, and probably Haywire Might coming in. Ugin seems pretty mid, maybe just one, and then Trimistar against the Bowmaster deck. Sure, yeah, that sounds good. All right, up a game against Mono Black Rag. And yeah, this is the type of hand that just gets torn apart like so easily. 'Cause I'm just not doing anything, and then all of my cards are gone by the time I cast them. Uh, yeah, this if I had a second land, I mean obviously if I had another Tron lands, these maps would be insane, but I come down. Mulligan as well. All right, there we go. I got the map. My opponent does get to go first here. So let's see. I probably bottom Karn, bottom Stirrings. That way, I guess actually, I'm kind of regretting bottoming Karn there. I feel like probably bottoming this Pick Your Poison would have been the better play. Because yeah, I think that probably would have been a bit better. But luckily, I did get to resolve this map. This tap land is looking absolutely brutal for them. If they had thought Seize Me turn 1, then I would have had a map and then nothing in my hand. Now they can pick one of my green cards that I can't cast anyway, and I get to just chill with Tron. So yeah. Oh, Pithing Needle on my map. That will stop me. That will stop me. And they took the Pick Your Poison to stop me from that. Siege, not bad. I think I'm just gonna go for Saga here. I think there is a uh, argument for going Beseiju Scrying, but I think this is. Oh, they just have nothing. Yeah, I accept. I mean, this way I just get to make a couple constructs, grab probably just one construct, and then I'll grab a sphere. Oh, okay. Well, 3-2 this league. With this build, I've gone 8-2 last league. Of course, I didn't record that one. Classic. I went 5-0. So yeah, let's see what I get in this chest. Oh yeah, I'm sure Form of the Dinosaur and Indomitable Archangel are just waiting for their chance to shine in Modern. If I play Points Classic, but 3-2, hard to be too mad at a winning record, and yeah, I think after playing, I've got 10 matches in with this build. I did like the sagas. I think it would be very meta dependent for sure. Like if um, if stuff like Zoo or Yawgmoth is coming back, I would absolutely not really want to be playing sagas. I would probably want to be playing, you know, just more ways to dig for Tron pieces or more interaction like Dismember, Warping Whale, something like that. Um, but with the decks where I was playing against there, I've got Scam, I've got a couple control lists, Blue Red, Murktide, even the Rack. Like these are all kind of slower, a bit more mid-rangey, and that's the type of matchup where Saga really shines. Just chain them together, make a couple big constructs, get a couple wins that wouldn't have wouldn't have come through otherwise. So yeah, I think this list is pretty good. Thanks for tuning in. Keep an eye out for the next video. think I'll have something fun for next time. So yeah, thanks for watching.